Hi, my name is Aurora Slayton, and I am going to present my edited lesson plan, Technology-Enriched Listening and Speaking. Thank you. Hi students, welcome to our class tonight. Please take your seats and we're gonna start. So yesterday was a very intensive class with listening and speaking, and we worked really hard. You worked really hard, so I am very proud of you with everything that we did yesterday. So tonight is our second day that we're going to be working with listening and speaking skills, and we're gonna go directly right now to a discussion that I want to have with you, and later on we'll do some exercises. We are going to work together as a class, and then you will work with your classmates. So we're gonna try to accomplish a lot of things, but what I want to discuss with you before we start with what we need to do in this class, I want you to listen to the things that I want to explain to you regarding your listening and your speaking skills, okay? So all these things, or these two things, we are going to acquire through practice. We have to practice a lot, our listening skills and our speaking skills, right? So for listening skills, we have focus, and I told you yesterday when we were only listening to the interview that we sharpen our ears and we focus on what the person was saying. In this case, the reporter and also the person that was being interviewed. So one of your skills that you are going to learn for listening will be the focus. You have to focus on what you're listening. When we are listening, also we pay attention to the tone, the body language that the person that is talking is doing. And we also try to remember. In other words, when the other person is speaking and we are listening, we try to remember all the information. We try to retain everything, because later on we can talk about what that person said, if that was the case, okay? So for speaking skills, your speaking skills are also important, and one of them is clarity. When we are speaking, we need to enunciate clearly so the other person understands what we are saying. We also have to have some fluency, and this means we go smooth. We don't make long pauses that the other person doesn't know if we're gonna say something or this is the end of the conversation. So we have to pay attention to that, and as we speak more, we get those skills that we're doing, okay? The other thing is pronunciation. When we speak, we have to pronunciate our words, and that goes together with the clarity. But if we pronounce the words clearly, the other person can understand what we're talking about. Also, we pay attention to the grammar, the structure, right, that we have seen in some other classes. So the person also understands when we're speaking, the other person can understand what we're saying. We also do intonations, and that's part of our emotions. And to give you an example, yesterday when we watched the video, the reporter said that she was going to interview people in Washington, D.C., and it was very exciting, right? But what if the reporter just say, well, I'm interviewing some people It's very exciting. Huh. Oh, she didn't sound exciting, right? So we have to also pay attention to our intonation and the emotions so they match to what we are saying, okay? I also want you to consider something and keep it in mind. It's the confidence. When you talk, your body language, your eye contact, we pay attention to those things when we're speaking, okay? And as we practice more, you will get more confident when you're speaking. Very good. So also, we have to show the other people that we're paying attention to what they're saying, and then when we respond, also we show that we paid attention. Very good. So what I want to do first is we're gonna do a little bit of a review of the vocabulary that we learned yesterday. And you all have your flashcards, and we are going to use those flashcards to remember or recall what we learned yesterday and the meaning. I asked you also yesterday to write on the back of your card, just like an example, this one. It's a memorial, but I also ask you to write on the back the meaning of that word. So we're just gonna give a little review of that, and then we're gonna proceed with some other practices and exercises that we have to do today. Okay, very well. Okay, so now we practice with our vocabulary and our flashcards. That was really good, and I know that all of you tried to remember the meaning of the words that we learned yesterday, so that was very good. Okay, so let's proceed with something that I want you to do. I have a recording, and this is a recording of the very first part of the interview from yesterday, and you are going to listening to it with one program that is called Vocaroo. And you are going to use this program to record an interview with another person, and it's part of your assignment. You are also going to upload your interview in Google Classroom, and you are going to answer a quiz in Google Classroom. Now you are very familiar with Google Classroom, and you are going to use that to upload your interview from Vocaroo and to answer your quiz. Okay, so let's listen to that interview. Very good. Okay, so it was very simple, right? It was just part of the transcript that we saw yesterday for the reporter that interviewed another person. But you listen carefully, right? So just by listening to that, what can we understand? Can anybody tell me? Yes, that it was an interview. Okay, Laura? Correct, that the person is in Washington, D.C. Okay, what else? Luis? Okay, Robert then? Yes, that she was going to interview tourists. So she did. Very good. So you see how she used those things to introduce us to the interview. And if you have been interviewed at one point, you know that they will ask you questions maybe about you, maybe about the place or some other places, so you can answer and understand. Very good. So what I want you to do right now is you are going to go to the website, and you already have your laptops open. I already gave you the instructions. Go to Vocaroo, please work in pairs, record your interview, and then we're gonna come back and we are going to discuss what you did. Then I have a surprise for you for tomorrow's class. So let's go and work, and I wish you luck with this interview, and we'll come back and talk about what's the surprise for tomorrow. Okay, so let's go now. 1, 2, go.